Thomas was never the gifted one. He knew it by the age of 10. The teacher would hand back the test, and his was never the perfect score. There was always a boy named Daniel who finished first and barely tried. Daniel solved the problem before Thomas had read it twice. Daniel sketched a face in an afternoon that Thomas could not draw in a week. The room called it talent, and the room was right. Thomas had no such gift. What Thomas had was a quiet, stubborn arithmetic. Every year he decided to expect a little more of himself than the year before. Not from the world, from himself. That was the whole of it, and it sounded like nothing. Here is what nobody tells you about talent. Talent learns to win before it learns to struggle. Daniel won early, and winning early taught him the wrong lesson. It taught him that things should come easy. It taught him that effort was for the slow. And so the gifted boy built his whole self around being effortless. That self was beautiful, and it was made of glass. Thomas built something uglier and far harder to break. He built a self that expected to be better tomorrow. The mornings were ordinary. He woke before he wanted to and did the work he was bad at. He played the passage that humiliated him until it stopped humiliating him. He read the page he did not understand a fourth time. There was no audience for any of this. There is never an audience for the thing that actually changes you. Daniel, meanwhile, coasted. Why would he not? The applause came for free, and he had never learned to live without it. Then they hit the first real wall. For Daniel, it came at 17, in a hall full of better players. For the first time, the gift was not enough. For the first time, he had to grind, and he did not know how. Worse, the grinding felt like an insult. To struggle was to admit he was not special, and admitting that was the one thing his whole self could not survive. So Daniel did what the gifted so often do. He quit, and he called it losing interest. He told everyone the thing had become boring. The truth was simpler and crueler. The wall did not break his talent. The wall broke his image of himself, and the image was all he had. Thomas hit the same wall 100 times. It never broke him, because he had never expected it to be easy. He expected only to be a little better than the Thomas of last year. And a little better, repeated for 10 years, is a different human being. The prodigies faded one by one. The girl who could sing before she could read gave it up at 20. The boy who did calculus in the 7th grade stalled the moment a problem made him sweat. One by one, the gifted ran into the thing talent cannot waltz through. Difficulty. Plain, unglamorous, unending difficulty. And one by one, they stepped back, confused, certain they had simply outgrown the dream. They had not outgrown it. It had asked them to suffer, and they had never been taught how. Thomas had been taught nothing else. Year 15, he was the only one left in the room. Not the most gifted. He had never been the most gifted. He was only the one still standing when the gifted sat down. The crowd watching him work assumed he must have been a prodigy all along. They could not imagine that ordinary mornings had carried him here. 200 years ago, Nietzsche wrote a line that explains all of it. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. The self you expect to become is that why. It is the thing that drags you up the mountain when your legs give out. Daniel had a gift, but he had no why. He had only the memory of being told he was special, and a memory cannot carry you up a mountain. A reason can. Here is the cruelty no one says out loud. The talent was never the blessing. The talent was the curse. It handed Daniel easy victories before he had built the spine to lose. It taught him that the price of mastery was beneath him. It made the first wall feel like a verdict instead of a beginning. The gift did not lift him. It robbed him of the one apprenticeship that matters. Learning in your bones that hard is not the same as impossible. And the absence of that gift was Thomas's hidden fortune. Having nothing handed to him, he learned to build. Having no applause to lean on, he learned to want the work itself. Having no easy wins, he was never afraid of the hard ones. What looked like a disadvantage at 10 was the whole reason he survived. The boy with no talent had the only thing talent can never buy. He expected more of himself every single morning, and he met the expectation. Now look at yourself for a moment. You were not handed the gift. You watched the easy ones win young, and you wondered what was wrong with you. Nothing was wrong with you. You were simply given the harder, better road. You were not given the gift. Good. Build the one thing the gifted never had to. Expect more of yourself tomorrow than the world ever expected of you today. Then wake up and become it on an ordinary morning, with no one watching. The gifted will fade at the first wall they cannot charm. You will still be standing, because standing was the only skill you were ever forced to learn. This is Schopenhauer's truth.